So it should be coming up any second here.
We're live. It says so on the screen.
All right. George?
Yeah, okay. Hello, folks. It's the Podsquad with Clay Jackson, Colleen Roberts, Wendy Card, and yours truly, George Oliver. Thank you for joining us for New Bern Now's podcast for June 11th, 2020, episode 145.
Woo!
Wow. That's a lot.
We are connecting you with the community by talking about the people and places, not just in New Bern, but beyond. We would love for you to join in on the conversation. So let us know if you have any questions or announcements. Please comment underneath this video. We have been known to give out prizes and things for people who say hello or offer a comment or a question. So would be happy to have you as part of the Podsquad today. And we have a new face for me. He's down there. And it's Clay Jackson. Welcome to the Podsquad. How are you?
Fine, Colleen. Thank you so much for including me. I have watched you guys and very happy to be a part of this today. It's going to be exciting.
So tell us a little bit about you and how you found beautiful New Bern. And
Sure. Well, I'll tell you, I started coming to the area when I was 7 years old as a camper at Camp Seagull. So I would spend the night in New Bern before heading on down to pick out my bunk when I was young. And just from that age, fell in love with New Bern and Eastern North Carolina. We have been living in Carteret County for about 10 years, and I have had a bizarre kind of path to life. George could not agree. I was a professional actor for about 15 years. I played the Maytag repairman on television. So you would recognize me maybe from let's see, I could do this right here. This is kind of fun. I'll change my background, and you'll see me right here with Justin Bieber.
ah!
So that was some fun there. So, but recently I've gotten into the service industry. I worked for Camp Seagull for a while as a director, and then just this past Monday we had our grand opening of a brand new in-home senior care company called Nurse Next Door that will also serve Craven County.
Fantastic. Now, what kind of services exactly?
Yeah, we're a little different than what's out there. We provide happier aging. So we'll come into the home to take care of your mom or dad. And the first thing we ask them is, what did you used to do that you just can't do anymore? What did you used to love to do that you can't do anymore? And we celebrate those vast accomplishments and experiences that your mom and dad have had. And we kind of use those as carrots to get into what makes them tick and create goals around them to get them up and going and doing the things that they love to do once again.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on the new business.
Thank you very much. It's really needed down here in our area and up where you are as well. Everyone knows that more and more people are moving here because it's paradise, and we're really becoming like a retirement destination, and we should, because it's one of the most beautiful places to live that I've ever been.
Now, you serve Craven and Carteret counties?
And Onslow County as well.
Beautiful. Okay.
So we actually have a client up in the Havelock area now, and we've got one down here at the beach, and we have hired the most caring and creative caregivers out there. We are private duty, so what that allows us to do is have longer stays to not only treat the symptoms of aging, but to spend time, longer visits, and really treat the entire person and get to know them and become a reliable connection, a reliable source of support and growth, and to put not only the client at ease, but also their family members as we help them gain their strength back.
That's awesome.
Clay, it's an interesting time. I know it's when you've been working on this for a little while, and when you're starting that, you didn't think you'd be involved in COVID, but how have you had to adapt the business model for what everybody's dealing with right now?
So the model is very similar. The additional things we're doing, obviously, we're doing some very specific COVID training with our caregivers. We have all the PPE that is required to make sure that not only the client is safe, but the caregivers are safe as well. It's funny, we believe that seniors want to stay at home, and that is even more true today. That people just really don't want to move into a nursing facility right now. So the longer that we're able to keep them at home before having to move on to another stage in life of support, the better that is. And there's just a peace of mind of knowing that I'm going to be taken care of by consistent caregivers who are very conscious of my health, not only physically, but emotionally as well.
Very good. Very good.
Yes.
So Clay and I met through theater. Clay has done a lot of shows in Morehead City. You were Daddy Warbucks, right? When they did Annie.
I was. I should have saved one of those pictures, but it was like this. Holy cow! It was. I knew when it rained right away. I was glad it grew back. I wasn't 100% sure.
You really did shave it?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow! You didn't do the bald.
Absolutely. No bald cap. No, I've got a big head. I couldn't fit a bald cap on here. I shaved my head and went all in and had a ball doing it. It was a really good show, and Judy Long was the director of it.
Yeah.
And it was just a great cast. We did it at West Carteret High School, and just such a family-friendly show that everyone knows. We had a ball. So, and I've also done a play there. I did what did I do? The Odd Couple. I did the Odd Couple there, and I'm looking forward to with Michael. Yeah, he was great. I mean, you couldn't have picked a better Felix.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but I'm looking forward to doing more now that I'm not with camp. I'm usually living in Arapahoe for 5 months out of the year, but now I'm more free to be able to do shows. I just need audiences that are bigger than 10 people.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Hopefully.
Although I've done shows for less than 10 people, I'm not gonna lie.
So Mason knows Clay as Broadway Clay from camp. And I know before you did the Maytag Man, you did perform in New York, right?
I did musical theater in New York. One of my favorite experiences was doing Jesus Christ Superstar with Billy Porter, who's very famous now. He's won Tonys and Emmys, and that was just a ball. I played a lot of bad guys. So I had a deep voice, and I'm 6'6", and I had a big beard, and my hair was all one length. So I played Judd in Oklahoma many a time, Bill Sykes, Caiaphas. That was kind of my bread and butter. So I didn't get to do those ingenue tenor roles. So not a lot of stage kisses for me.
Yeah.
Well, we are so happy to have you on the Pod Squad today, Clay, and looking forward to you being a part of the conversation. We also have a couple of guests, right, Wendy, in the waiting room?
Yes, and I'm going to bring them in.
So you're going to bring them in both at the same time, or?
I just allowed Lisa in. Should I bring both of them in, or what?
It's up to you. You want to have everybody in on the conversation? That's fine with us. The more the merrier, right?
Yes. There we go. Okay, let's see here.
She said she was letting Lisa in, and if you don't know Lisa Bisbee-Lentz, she is a popular artist in New Bern and the surrounding area. She also has the Greater Good Gallery on Craven Street downtown, and I'm super excited to have her on to talk about some new things that are going to be going on at the gallery. And then Talina Massey. Hi.
Yay, hi, Talina.
Hi, Talina.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I think Lisa's still maybe working on getting her audio and video working. So we'll start with Talina. We haven't seen you in a while. Welcome to the Pod Squad. How have you been?
Thank you so much. I have been safely conducting business this entire time, but I think we're good to go. How are you guys?
Good.
Good. You look great.
Thank you.
I really like this Zoom thing. At least we can see people virtually. So,
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's all right. I'm always looking for an opportunity to come talk to you guys. It's always an amazing conversation.
I did not know that you had business savvy.
Yeah.
So I'm I'm probably not the only one out there who doesn't know what business savvy is. So talk to us about this venture for you.
It's my baby, obviously. It's very word of mouth type of small business. I had a lot of people coming up to me, especially young folks. Hi, Lisa.
Hey.
Hi, Lisa.
A lot of young folks.
You look great. I didn't mean to interrupt. Keep going.
No, you're good. We definitely had a lot of folks, especially me, coming up asking a lot of business questions. You know, how do I get my business started? What do I LLC or S Corp or C Corp, or how do I get involved in government contracting? Those types of questions. And as a SCORE mentor, I was a prior SCORE mentor. I would walk them through it and teach them all the free resources that would help them get that information. And then eventually I had a few folks that said, well, could you do it for me? Could you do the paperwork for me? Could you write that for me? So I eventually opened up Business Savvy Business Consulting company, and I help with social media marketing and writing speeches and all types of things. So just a number of consulting and showing people both free and paid resources for growing, starting, or expanding their business.
So how long has Business Savvy been around?
About 3 years, off and on, kind of. Yeah.
Well, good for you. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You are joining us today to talk about very important events, number one being Juneteenth, but also Through the Lens and some Craven Arts Council stuff. So yeah, so what is going on with Juneteenth this year?
So Juneteenth has definitely picked up some traction this year, considering all things that are happening around the globe. It has been in New Bern for about 3 years now. We've been working on it. We had collaborations where we would team up with different businesses and Duff Fest to provide different events throughout this week to help people learn about what exactly is Juneteenth. And why it's important to celebrate things like that, along with all of the other things that we and cultures that we celebrate here in New Bern. Juneteenth specifically caught my eye because we'd had a recent connection with our sister city, Kinston, where they would celebrate, do like a joint celebration together. And I wanted to find a way to kind of rebuild that bridge back, as well as present more information about this holiday that a lot of folks, when I first moved here, told me they had no idea what it was. So just a brief background on Juneteenth. It is, it's when Major General Gordon Granger went into Texas and explained that slavery was abolished. They were some of the last individuals to know that slavery had been abolished. So, and that happened on June 19th in 1862. So, 1865. So since then, that's kind of been a celebration. It's more of an independence and an acceptance of culture type celebration. But again, preserving that very important history, which is also part of American history. So in the past, we've had a week. We have 2 proclamations from both Craven County commissioners and as well as the city board, acknowledging Juneteenth, acknowledging its importance, and urging citizens to participate in any of those events. This year has been significantly scaled back, obviously, because of COVID-19. But we will be having, throughout the week, we will be having interviews throughout the community with our community leaders and residents, just talking about why Juneteenth is important to them, as well as a Juneteenth town hall at Stanley White on June 19th at 6 p.m., which will be held by the Young Urban Professionals and facilitated by Alderwoman Jamisha Harris. And there will also be the Art Walk will be participating in Juneteenth. They have 4 artists this year from all over Eastern North Carolina. I'm super excited. One from Greenville, one from Jacksonville, one is from Wilmington, and our very own Jarmon Fonville from New Bern is a contemporary artist that will be featured at the Art Walk this year. So if anyone wants to go take a look at it, it's Art Walk starts June 12th. At 5 p.m. and they will be offering not only just Juneteenth, but the Looking Through the Lens and a couple other features, because they did actually have 8 artists originally, but due to COVID-19, they had to cut it down to 4. But there's a lot of support and participation that will be engulfed in Juneteenth. I would highly suggest you pay attention, social media, and some of the chat groups to find out what's going on and where beyond today.
Now there's also still the gospel night on June 27th with Benita Simmons.
We found out it was canceled due to COVID. Yeah, so we've got events coming in and out. Yeah, and we totally understand. We totally get people wanting to be safe. Any of the in-person events obviously will follow CDC guidelines and have, sanitation equipment out there. And I completely understand people's fear of possibly gathering in a sense. So we respect it, and we're offering the virtual live kind of from the Juneteenth of New Bern Facebook page. We'll be offering those virtual conversations around Juneteenth so that those who don't want to gather can still be reached.
We will really miss her. She has such a beautiful voice. She has sang the Star Spangled Banner and has participated in other events with the city of New Bern and certainly the New Bern Police Department, and is working so hard on, some of the projects that she has a passion for, and we hope to see those get off the ground. But we will miss her on the 27th and her gospel night.
Yes.
And Talina, the art show is going to be at the Bank of the Arts, right?
Correct.
On Friday night, tomorrow night.
Yes.
And I want to encourage everybody to come. That they're respecting social distance in there. Even as they have live music, the chairs are kind of spread out around so that people can enjoy it, but also feel comfortable. So even though COVID's out there, the Bank of the Arts very much is working with people to make sure. And I know, Lisa, I know everyone is in town with Art Walk, so we want to make sure people get out and support and enjoy those things. Yeah.
And George, you're performing, aren't you? You strung together?
We are performing Saturday at the Bank of the Arts. Yeah.
Awesome.
I think we were originally going to try to do Friday, but the date didn't work. But looking forward to that. We haven't played. The last time we played together in public was February 22nd. So
wow.
Different world.
Yeah, long time. But I'm looking forward to seeing the gallery with the artwork that you're talking about, Talina. I'm sure how long it will be displayed there?
No, for at least a couple weeks, but I would definitely check their website. I know John will have that updated soon as far as how long that will be there. And additionally, too, we'll be I'll be out there, of course, and I also have teamed up with Lara McGovern and her hair salon down there to participate in the art walk. The younger professionals will be out there. We'll have a table, and we'll also be doing voter registration for anyone that is interested as well. So just trying to give you guys, most bang for your buck.
So I live beyond New Bern, so I'm not in New Bern. I'm in the beyond part. Where exactly is this located? Like, is there an address or?
I can get it for you. It is at the Bank of the Arts. It's on Middle Street.
It's on Middle Street. Okay, everyone knows where Middle Street is. That helps a lot. So just want to make sure.
317 Middle Street is
right next to the
Bank of the Arts.
Kids can take you there. It's right next to Calcutta. Yeah. Talina, you're also the chair of the Young Urban Professionals?
Correct.
Tell us more about that group. I know about it, but our listeners may want more information.
Sure. So Young Urban Professionals is a 501c3 that we started to assist with economic development and business around and throughout Eastern North Carolina. Our board is comprised of several individuals throughout Eastern North Carolina, from Greenville to Kinston, down in Wilmington, and kind of all over. And it isn't a group where you necessarily age out at 40. We just expect for our older members to kind of do a mentorship with some of the younger aspiring members and kind of walk them through that process. But we do at least one event a month, either in person or virtual. Of course, now we've had to adjust. And it has to be an educational event or some sort of community service, or some sort of networking event where we can get entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs together to kind of share ideas, and in business cards preferably. So we just you know, coming here, not a lot of people know that I was stationed in Cherry Point as a Marine, left and came back and decided to raise my family here about 6 years ago. And I noticed, obviously, as an import, someone from New York coming down here, there just wasn't a huge avenue for young folks to kind of do some of the things that young folks like to do without having to travel out of the area and spend our money somewhere else instead of our economy. So a group of friends, me, Jamisha Harris, and Reginald and Marquez with Democracy NC, kind of got together and decided that, you know, this was needed and it needed to be expanded because we received so many requests from young folks asking about what are the resources. Again, the same questions they asked me with Business Savvy. So it just made sense. And now that's kind of where we are. We're known in the community for doing a lot of community service and just mentoring people and meeting up with people and matching them with resources that they need for their business. And that's what we're here to do.
How much is it to join YUP if you want to be a member of Young Urban Professionals?
Anybody can join. It's $50 a year. And with that, if you have a business, we will promote it on the website. We will come, if you need us to come and do any type of promotion at your business, as long as you're a member, we have no problems helping out. And our events, we usually open them to members. And if they want to bring a friend, not a problem. We do have exclusive content on our website specifically for our members, but we are inclusive of everyone and we are in need of everyone's helping hands because many hands make light work and we understand it.
There you
And
go.
again, Talina, what if you're young-ish? Urban
We love people who are young at heart. Come on. We definitely don't mind having you around, of course.
Oh, that was definitely talking about you.
Well, Talina, you are a busy woman.
Oh, I haven't even gotten into brain tap yet. So that's just, my 9 to 5 is brain tap technologies. And that's a whole nother other field that people don't even understand. That business is right here in New Bern. It's a tech company and it's been in Forbes magazine, CNN, all sorts of amazing things they're doing with health and wellness and meditation. The next level of meditation, if you guys have heard of Calm and Headspace, you kind of know what we're doing, but we take it to the next level with medical devices that actually increase medical benefits. So if you want to lose weight or you need motivation to get you through the day, you need digital coffee in the afternoon because you feel like, oh, I've just seen way too many news stories. I mean, we've got a brain tap retreat. It's an app, brain tap. You can download it on your phone and listen to 10-minute sessions to kind of help you get through the day. So that's kind of what I'm involved with during the day.
Did you say digital coffee?
Yes, we call it digital coffee. It'll wake you up. And if you need help
Okay.
sleeping at night, we've got some things to help you sleep at night as well.
Okay. Digital sleeping pills.
Pretty much. It's the future. Without the jitters.
Download it in your ears, right?
Yeah, exactly. It uses a combination of binaural beats and tones and guided visualization from a doctor who's been doing this for well over 20 years, Dr. Patrick Porter. And again, it's headquarters right here in Eastern North Carolina with an office in Durham and San Francisco. Our CEO was actually the CEO of Oracle. We do work with people like Dr. Oz and several others, the American Ninja Warriors and Corey Anderson with MMA. I mean, we've got a lot going on.
Yeah. I had no idea that was here in New Bern.
Right there.
Yeah.
On Road.
Me neither. That's fantastic.
Mhm.
I think Talina could just like carry the whole show. You know?
Well,
I feel better
I'm
just
boring.
talking to her.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm not doing enough.
Got to get brain tap. I don't sleep. I just brain tap.
Well, thank you so much for that information. Lisa Bisbee-Lentz, God bless you. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah. Well, I also want to say Juneteenth last year, we went to the Bank of the Arts. And so this was a piece here. This is Lee Hood. And I also have another one that he had from that exhibit. There's
nice.
another one.
Awesome. I
Yeah.
love Lee.
Right. And then I'm pretty sure they have some face jugs over there. And if you don't know the story about the face jugs, It really is very interesting. You should look up Ben Watford on the internet. He's got all kinds of videos on YouTube, and he really is a truly amazing man, and I was so glad to know him. So anyway, that's for Art Walk tomorrow night. You should stop by the Bank of the Arts and then head over to Craven Street, which is where I am, at the Greater Good Gallery, because we're doing absolutely 50% off everything. I don't know if y'all remember,
Wow.
but after the hurricane, we had a clearance sale at that point, and then I just kept accumulating lots and lots of paintings. I don't know if you can see all those, but there's lots to choose from. Oh, of course, my phone has to read. Oh, goodness. I just throw it in the river. Anyway, after the 50% off, starting next Tuesday, I'll be teaching.
You froze up, Lisa.
Is this the trivia question? We have to guess what she's teaching?
Oh no, Lisa.
Lisa, come back. Come back.
Yeah.
Aw. Maybe
said
we'll
she's
get her
gonna
back
teach
in a few minutes.
He's going to be teaching how to be very still.
That's right.
Wow.
He's going to be
Still
teaching
life
mime.
painting.
Maybe it's mime.
The world of Zoom, you know, this is just all brand new. So
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Are you trying to get her to rejoin, Wendy?
I don't see her. She left the building or
Goodness.
left the room.
have you seen the
maybe.
Zoom bingo cards during your meetings? You have a Zoom
No.
bingo card, and there's spaces like pet walks across screen. You get to mark that box, or screen freezes, too close to the screen, or can you hear me as a box. Like Zoom bingo it's all the rage in meetings now.
We need to do.
Well, hopefully we will get Lisa back. Tomorrow is a brand new art walk. You know, thanks to COVID, we haven't been able to do these kinds of things, so we're super excited about it. One of the popular questions we've been getting here is, are the street cafes going to continue? Where several blocks of downtown New Bern, side of the street is closed so that the restaurants can serve at tables that are socially distanced out in the street. It's from 5 to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday nights. It'll last, per the governor's order, it'll last until August, but we as a city body are thinking about how we can implement this all the time, not just during a governor's order.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Yeah,
Okay.
really fun. We've talked about several different scenarios and things that we could do, but everybody's asking is, you know, art walks tomorrow. So are you guys still doing the street cafes? Absolutely, we are. So Art Walk always brings lots of residents and visitors and friends, people from around here and maybe not around here. And if you're not from around here, well, great, because you'll get to maybe, you know, dine outdoors at one of our wonderful downtown restaurants while you're here. So Art Walk and street cafes are both happening tomorrow night.
Clay, are they doing anything like that in Moorhead?
We sometimes it seems like we don't have COVID down here.
You just got the big rock.
Especially when Michael Jordan catches a marlin and brings it
Right.
Yeah.
in. He has been all the rage.
I just knew that question was going to come up during this Podsquad today.
Yeah. So no, restaurants are doing some outdoor seating. I know that people are starting to go out to eat more. We have so many, just like you guys, visitors coming in to still support our town. And I'll just tell you, it's just so nice seeing Carteret County come alive again. I'm sure like New Bern as well. I just miss seeing people and seeing cars at restaurants and seeing cars out of the beach. It's not the same place without the tourists here. I mean, it's great in the off season, but we're here to be able to serve and be open and with welcome arms. So we're getting there.
Yeah, I think everybody, it's kind of a slow crawl back, but it's something I feel like you do, Clay. It's like just exciting to see people again, you know?
I can tell you, I remember the first person I saw, like it was Frances Jenkins, and I saw her walking down the street. I was like, oh, I know you. I haven't seen you in a month. It was wonderful. So I miss people.
Yeah. And speaking of people, we have people on social media that are saying hi to us. So, hey, Pat Murray, she's a Durham skywriter, and you got to check out Durham Bull City Hangouts. She does like a podcast like us every day at noon except for Sundays, and she's just a wonderful gal, and she's going to be joining us on one of their future podcasts. So, hey, Pat, and hello, y'all, from Rob Jones.
Hey,
What
Rob.
are you up to, Rob? I still haven't made it over to Brutopia, but you're on my list. Let's see, and Brenda Parker Hardy is watching. I need to get glasses. I need to call Gary White. Amy Murphy, hi, Amy. John Weyerhauser, thanks for watching, John. And do you want to do the contest, you guys?
Yes.
Sure.
Alina's like, what contest?
Wait, I'm not ready.
Let's see. Okay, if you answer this, comment what you think the answer is in our social media, and at the end of the show afterwards, I'm going to tell you anyone that commented correctly, and you're going to win a prize. So, which of these animals can be found in North Carolina? A, eastern cougar. B, the armadillo. C, mountain lion. Or D, brown bear. Okay, once again, which one can be found in North Carolina? Eastern cougar is A. B, armadillo. C, mountain lion. Did I say C? And D is brown bear. So, yeah.
Now, so you're just going to look after the Pod Squad is over, because we do have a little bit of a delay, right?
Yes. Let's see if anyone's answering. Michael Hunt said, good day. Hello. I haven't got any responses, but Lisa Bisbee-Lentz. I suppose I have some technical difficulties at the moment. Wendy and crew, so happy to see you, your smiling faces. So she'll be talking about, if anyone needs more information about the classes, they can visit lisabisbee.com. And
I've received an answer to the question on social media,
okay.
and it is from Pam.
Pam! We love Pam!
So guys, Pam works in my office, and she's a paralegal for us, and somehow she finds time to watch this every week when she's supposed to be working. And as luck would have it, now that we're social distance on Zoom, I can walk down the hall and see what Pam's doing. Would you like to join me? Let me take off the virtual background. Hold on. We'll go surprise Pam.
We're gonna meet Pam the first time she was.
Finally, we're gonna meet Pam.
Yeah, you won't know we're coming because of the delay.
Oh no, poor Pam.
Here he comes, Pam.
Yes, here's Pam. Finally.
Pam?
That's Pam.
I've done that.
Now, Pam,
Nice to meet you.
Squad. That she's watching the Pod Squad.
Yes.
We're always saying poor Pam because George, a couple of years back, George saw that you were watching during working hours, and he said, Pam. That's how that all started.
And I went down to the Omark building, but I didn't have time to get there.
because she was working so
I
hard.
was.
Of course.
Now, Pam answered the question.
I did.
Would you like to hear Pam's answer?
Yes.
It was A.
No, unfortunately, the eastern cougar is now extinct, but
Oh, I thought
it
they
used to be in North Carolina.
So Pam is older than you think, and Pam remembers these
loophole.
people.
I do.
So she was only partially correct.
Right.
Only partially correct.
Yeah, but that was not the answer. So you want to try again?
I think one of them was duck-billed platypus. That
It was
E.
not.
Yeah, say E.
Okay,
F was minions. Say minions.
George. Okay, B was armadillo, C was mountain lion, and D is brown bear.
I don't think we have brown bears, do we?
I think we have black bear.
Uh,
We don't have grizzly.
Right.
Grizzly's different than a brown bear.
Or polar. There's no
Or
polar
brown.
bears here.
We do not have polar. At the zoo.
Oh, maybe.
That's true. I think we have mountain lions. Isn't that what a bobcat is?
A bobcat is different
No,
than a
a
mountain.
bobcat is totally different.
I have a bobcat in my office.
You do.
I do. All right, what's your answer?
A stuffed one.
No, mountain lion.
I said mountain lion, didn't
No,
I? What
you
was
said-
A?
You say Eastern
That's
cougar.
the wrong answer.
I know, what was it?
It was
It's not the mountain lion.
Cougar.
It's not mountain lion?
Nope.
No, so it's not C. So it's B or
Then it's
D.
gotta be D.
Armadillo?
But then none of the above.
There's armadillos in North Carolina.
that can't be right.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing along, Pam.
Yeah, thanks, Pam. Nice to meet
So
you.
here's the mountain. Here's the bobcat.
Was you?
Yeah, that's a bobcat.
Yeah, he's our office mascot.
Well, you know, they're very, very rare that you see a bobcat. And there was a turkey hunter in the Croatan making the call of a turkey, and the bobcat snuck up on him and pounced on him. It scared the bobcat because he thought it was going to be a turkey, and it freaked the guy out. But they're very elusive. But if you're walking, you know, in the forest and you come across an armadillo, don't be afraid. Just
I
thought
would never have guessed that.
No.
Like,
Me neither.
there were 100 choices. That was my last choice.
Yeah.
Me too.
Okay, we have a couple other guests. Michael Hunt, mountain lion. Bear seems too obvious. Mountain lion. Talina said, he said mountain lion. Yeah. Pat Murray, I'd say brown bear because one was walking down the street in Durham. Now that could have been a black bear that had brown color, like was more blondish.
He was in disguise.
There you go. And Gary Dubio's watching.
Hey, Gary.
Captain Gary is back. Spec Fever Fishing Guide Service are back on the river, so give him a call to go fishing. And Pat said, "Uh-oh, so what kind of bear was that I saw?"
It was a Newbern bear.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
Well, if Lisa can't come back, I do want to read some of her news that we have on our little handy scripts that
Sure.
Wendy provides us with. So the Greater Good Gallery is participating in Art Walk tomorrow night from 5 to 8 p.m. On Craven Street. She is going to be having a huge clearance sale that she spoke about. She'll feature oil paintings by Carol Jones and herself. Prices are significantly reduced to make way for a new creative venture that she has going on in a new location. But until that location is announced and established, the gallery at the Isaac Taylor House on Craven Street is going to transform into an art school for all ages, for young kids, for adults. This is going to be for the summer months this summer. Lisa will hold workshops. She's also going to open up some studio time for kids, parents, adults. She is a graduate of SCAD, which George is a huge fan of, the Savannah College of Art and Design.
Yeah.
And she says this is going to be a big learning experience. And again, open to all ages. She said it's time to develop your imagination, to relax, to have fun, and enjoy a creative process. So we are excited to see Lisa kind of expand what she's doing over at the Greater Good Gallery. And she wants to inspire and help people kind of focus their skill sets in creative design and in art. And she says there's no experience necessary. And as Wendy said, you can find out more about those classes she's going to be offering at lisabisbee.com. So
there you go.
Congratulations to her.
Yeah. And Talina, are you into the arts? Are you an artist or just an observer, or neither, or both?
I am a supporter, especially of a lot of the performing arts. There's an underground poetry scene kind of in the area that I try to support a lot. I will be getting into more of the art community, considering I'm getting ready to be on the Arts Council board.
Oh, good.
So
Wow,
Good for
that's-
you.
Yeah,
That's
so
terrific.
thank you. I'm going to try to obviously look at a lot of what's going on in the area and see how whatever I do can assist in that. But I am definitely a supporter of the arts, and I plan to become more of a supporter.
Fantastic. What about your daughter? Does she like the arts, or what is she really into?
Right now it's LED lights. I think that's it.
How old is she?
My daughter is 13 years old. She's getting ready to head to New Bern High. And I just find it hilarious every evening when I come in from whatever I'm doing in the community. My house is kind of lit up like a spaceship in a sense. I think that's the trend now. They've got the LED lights you can put in the kids' rooms. So it's always
I've got a 12 and 15-year-old. They do the same thing. It must have been on TikTok.
Had to be, because they obviously don't listen to us, but I just know packages arrive and things happen. So yeah, that's as far as the art goes. But I have been during COVID getting her involved in planting flowers and vegetables and things like that. So anything I can to try to inspire creativity out of this younger generation, because it's different. It's definitely different.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
And you got to check out George's walk-in bathtub. They have Small Town News podcast. And,
Really?
Yes.
yeah, it's a new podcast and it's hilarious. So
All right.
yeah, it's
Thanks.
improv. It's an improv podcast. So
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We take we're given newspaper stories from a small town somewhere in the United States. We read them for the first time live, and then we improv scenes based on that. And they're all from very small towns like New Bern. Average size is probably anywhere from 5 to 30,000 people. And so the news stories are always going to be lighthearted. They're not, it's not reading the New York Times. I mean, it's reading like the Sun Journal. And so it's usually about something unique happening in that little town that kind of gives you a little window into what that town is like. And we also talk about the town. We ask, if anybody's ever been to that town in our group, or particularly that state. We tell little stories about that. So it's just silly fun. It's been a real good time with some of my buddies. Yeah, good time.
How did y'all come up with that idea?
Craig Ramey is one of the guys, and we were just sitting down saying we wanted to do some kind of way to learn how to do the improv better. And we wanted particularly to do long form, which is not as reliant on kind of a gimmicky, which most of the, like Whose Line Is It Anyway, and most of the Walk-in Bathtub is short form. And we want to do more long form. And we both love a couple of long form podcasts. And we started thinking that would be fun as kind of an exercise to learn how to do it. And so we invited a couple of friends, and Craig mostly came up with the concept of small town news. And Craig used to be a reporter for the Carter County News Times.
I know that. Huh.
Yeah. And he now runs communications for Craven Community College, and he used to run communications for the Tryon Palace, and lived in Ocracoke for a while. And so it's kind of like that idea of the small town news reporter, and then just kind of taking whatever little inspiration we get from that and turning it into something really silly. So it's a nice creative outlet and a nice way to spend time with friends. And so we did it for about 6 months before we decided to publish any of them, just to see if the concept worked and just to see if it was something we wanted to keep doing. So we meet once a week and record, and it's a lot of fun.
You're on iTunes.
Yeah, and Spotify and all that, Apple Podcasts. Yeah, it's a good time. We're just putting it out in the world. Hope it makes somebody chuckle. It's all harmless fun. So
Cool stuff.
yeah. Wendy, have you been listening? You've been listening to it?
I listened to it was the milk one. Is it the milk one?
Yeah, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
The most fun I have with it is my 13-year-old son. He's the one that listens to it as soon as it comes out, and throughout the day he'll make private jokes with me about it. And so that's been cool.
Oh, cute.
It's kind of a way, it's right up there with his humor. And so it's been a lot of fun. So he'll make references throughout the day. The two of us will laugh because my daughters and my wife have no idea what we're talking about. And so it's a nice little inside joke that we have. It's fun.
So do you think Mason's going to be improv guy when he grows up?
I don't know. He likes doing plays, but he doesn't like being. He likes being in the ensemble. He says that's where all the fun is. You know, you get really good friends with people, and you don't have the pressure of having to be out there by yourself. So I don't know. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. So Colleen, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was going to say I know Clay has done some improv. He and I had some talks about this yesterday and the day before, and Clay has performed with who I think is probably the top of the profession. It's a group called Baby Wants Candy,
Yep.
and they do musical improv. Me and some friends went to see them in New York City at the UCB Theater. Clay wasn't with them that night, but it was a couple of years ago, and they do something called Shamilton, and they do an entire improv musical in the style of Hamilton, and the audience tells them who it's going to be about. And we did Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and they did an hour and a half improv musical about Ruth Bader Ginsburg with a piano player and a drummer and I think a guitarist. And it was amazing. It was so much fun.
It's fun. So when I got cast as the Maytag repairman, part of my media training was they hired Second City out of Chicago to improv with me on customer relations or working a crowd or being able to do one thing or other, and just made great friends with them. And whenever I would come back to Chicago, I would make sure I'd go over to Baby Wants Candy and I'd get up on stage with them from time to time. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So when were you the Maytag man?
It has probably been 6 or 7 years since I left Maytag to play that role. Maybe not that long. About 6 years since I did that. But I got it in 2005, somewhere around there. But I did over 30 commercials in the US and Canada. I sang the national anthem at almost every ballpark in the country.
Wow.
Got to be a guest on the Tonight Show, on the Ellen DeGeneres Show. It was a wonderful experience and I was just a tourist going along with the ride. I just wanted to appreciate every minute of it. And I just got to meet all walks of life who had owned dependable and reliable Maytag appliances. It was a ball.
That is so cool.
It was nice to know what you were going to wear to work every day. So.
Yeah.
And now you have a built-in Halloween costume.
That is true. Absolutely. We actually had a Halloween party this year for adults, and 2 of the guys showed up as Maytag repairmen. So.
And the idea of the Maytag man is that he has nothing to do because Maytag's never repair, right?
Correct. So
yeah.
You remember the old guy who would just kind of sit like this, waiting for the phone to ring. And they kind of made it a little different where I would learn different skills because my phone would never ring. So I might be there fixing your cable or fixing the copy machine in your office. And it was always like, what's the Maytag repairman doing here? So it was a lot of fun. It was fun. So,
That's cool. Well, and I noticed Clay and I just met today, but I was on your Facebook page and I noticed that you have a big green egg.
I do have a big green egg.
I have a big green egg. So you're the only one that I think I know that also has a big green egg. So
I had some counselors from Camp Seagull over last night before they moved into camp this weekend, and I made them moinks. Have you made a moink yet? It's a meatball wrapped in bacon, and you smoke it and then put some barbecue sauce on it and let it get all tacky. It is incredibly unhealthy, but it is like right up a 21-year-old's alley. So.
Wow. No, I've got to try that. I did ribs yesterday, so.
Okay.
But yeah.
I did barbecue competition for a little while and got into it, and then through Maytag became friends with Ray Lampy, who's called Dr. Barbecue, and he was the national spokesperson for Big Green Egg, and he got me kind of hooked on that. And it's great for where we live in New Bern at the beach because it doesn't rust. Like a gas grill, like the air is just chewing it up. And I've had my egg for almost 10 years.
Yeah, I've had mine for 15 now. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing to make?
Probably beer can chicken. I'm a chick. I just eat chicken pretty much every day. chicken and green beans. So.
I recommend making a meatloaf on it.
Oh, I have. I've done the
okay,
pizza. You can do anything on it, but I think my favorite is the chicken.
The chicken, good.
Talina, do you grill?
Do.
Do you do charcoal or gas?
I do both. I have a Oklahoma Joe's grill, so it just depends on what kind of night it is. If I forgot to thaw something out, I usually will just buy something really quick and grill really fast on the gas. Or if I've got time, I'll use the charcoal and low and slow until I get something really good. So
I think we need to have a competition.
Ooh.
Yes.
And
She really had to take her time and think about her answer. Did you notice that? She was like, yes.
I'm all about it. Yeah, I've picked up quite a few recipes from people around the country, so I'd love to, whenever. I'm waiting for the invite, Clay, Wendy.
Come on down.
Yeah, once this COVID thing kind of lifts, or we'll have the KN95 masks that kind of are better with protecting ourselves, but not the N95. They're for healthcare workers, but yeah. So
what is that? What is a KN95? I hadn't heard about that one yet.
They're made in China, and it's not just to protect the people that are around you, but when you breathe, it like forms a seal, so you're breathing in your own aerosols and that, so you're not breathing other people's aerosols. It cuts it out. I think it's like 10% chance that it's not, effective. So it's a lot more effective than just wearing a cloth or surgical mask or whatever mask.
You definitely want to brush your teeth before putting one on, because it will. You'll quickly know if you need to, like, ooh, my breath.
Our office manager also has a company with Thea's Ideas, and she's just purchased that company. So she has us brand everything, and she made these for us. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got our name on it.
Wow, fancy.
Breathe easier will help you through this. That's kind of cool.
I think it's really neat, like what Lisa was talking about, the art walk. It's interesting that even while we're having to live this different world right now, you are seeing people's creativity come through in their mask choices.
Right.
It's like they're able to show like their pieces of flair and a little bit of their personality, because when you can't see a smile, at least you see kind of what's important to them and stuff.
Right.
Have you guys been through the nobody notices me when I have my mask on thing? Like when you see a neighbor or something out, they're usually like, is that, I don't know. And you have to kind of pull your mask down a little so they recognize it. Yeah.
And you look at each other for a little bit and you're like,
Guys, those eyebrows.
One of my daughters was in a store, and she had a mask on, and she was talking to the lady at the checkout line, and she told a joke, and the lady looked at her and she said, I can't tell, are you smiling? Was that a joke? She's like, yes, it was, but it's harder to tell context.
it's a whole different world with these masks on. You can't tell who people are. You can't see facial expressions.
So what I'm getting from this conversation is maybe we should have masks with facial expressions like emojis on them. Or
like a smiley or a mustache or
right. And then I'm thinking mask somehow Menti Febreze for the breath maybe in the morning. I don't know. Sounds like an invention to me.
Yeah, I don't have
a mask on the inside.
Yeah.
You can get one of your yups to start that idea, build a company, get the LLC going, go see George to be able to get everything filed, the copyright, like get a whole thing going.
There you go. I could use the Podsquad as the Shark Tank think group for the ideas, and there you go.
That would be so much fun to have one here. A Shark Tank, New Bern. That would be really cool.
Right.
On the way.
This group we'd be all positive. We'd say yes to everything, and it wouldn't really.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. But I definitely would be remiss. I'm sorry if I didn't go back really quick. We talked about the arts, and I don't know why I kind of had a brain fart, Wendy, but Yup does have a book club.
I watched it. Was it last week?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I watched
with the publisher.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so we reversed engineered kind of the book club. We know that young people don't read. I'm not saying all of them don't, but we just know that, you know, it's harder these days to get people to read, especially if it's not in a digital format. I'm personally a person that likes physical books. I like going to pick them up and looking at the editions and all of that stuff. But in order to support local artists and authors and a lot of our younger people who wanted to, who are always like, I've got a story, I want to write a book. And we're like, okay, we'll help you through that process and figure that out. So it's more of a holistic book club. We don't just feature authors, we also feature publishers and anyone who's involved in the book process from pen to production, so that they can learn the entire process. You don't necessarily have to read the book ahead of time. What we'll do is we'll find the author and we'll have a Zoom webinar, and they will explain what's in the book and what you can get out of the book, and hopefully inspire you to read the book. And then members get it for free or at a really deep discount. So
it was great information as far as, you know, how to publish, you know, how books actually get published. I remember that part of the conversation, and a lot of people wonder that, you know.
Yeah. So we will definitely, as the questions come in about the book writing process, we'll try to find more local authors and more people involved in that process who can help support you know, those aspiring authors, and hopefully get more literature out of Eastern North Carolina.
Yeah, and maybe get them over to the Next Chapter bookstore, which is, they have all the different local authors, you know.
Yeah. Exactly, because we're all connected.
Yeah, Talina, is it Yup? It's not yup.com. Is it yup.org?
Yup-enc.org.
Okay.
We also have a Facebook and an Instagram page. We also have a Juneteenth of New Bern Facebook page, as well as, I'm trying to think of obviously the Bank of the Arts, of course, has their own social media pages, but I would definitely encourage all of our watchers, viewers, listeners to visit those pages to find out how you can get more in touch with those organizations. We've got some great organizations around New Bern, honestly.
Yeah, definitely.
I know you guys have had events at our office before on the deck up here.
Yes, we love your office.
Everybody does.
If you want to do that again, just let me know. I mean, once things relax, I mean, certainly we love letting community groups use the space. Just let me know.
Will do. Thank you so much. We get tons of questions about that. Everyone loved it last year. They loved the location. They thought it was beautiful. So thank you.
Good. Sure.
Yeah. And Colleen, what do you got going on with the city? Anything? Well, anything. You've got a lot going on with the city, but
that face.
You have a drive-in this weekend, right? Is that this weekend?
Yes, have a drive-in movie, which I do have to let you know the tickets are sold out. There are now 60 people on the waiting list. The last time I talked to Foster Hughes, our Parks and Rec director, but it was $5 per car. It's Grease and another movie that I can't think of right now. But the good news is it is a concept we will continue. So if you didn't get in on the first drive-in movie, that's okay. We'll get you in on another one at Lawson Creek Park. So I think people are really excited about those. Again, another opportunity to get out. And while we're talking about Parks and Rec related stuff, a lot of summer camps are struggling or not happening because of the whole COVID situation. And I want to let you know that the Bern Bear Bunch summer camp through Parks and Rec is happening. The first session starts on Monday. So if you're still looking for summer camps for your youngsters, this is for folks, for kids ages 5 to 12. And there are other sessions that last for the rest of the summer up until August 7th. And it's really easy to register. Go to newbernnc.gov and click on Parks and Recreation, and you'll see all of our summer events and programming and other information about Parks and Rec. They're at New Bern PR on Facebook. They have a lot of information about things that are coming up over the summer too. So that's a summer camp that is still happening. They've had to cancel some things some of the trips that they would be taking, but they're going to have all kinds of physical activities and games. They're going to have some cookouts and all kinds of fun stuff as part of Bern Bear Bunch Summer Camp. Say that 3 times fast.
Bern Bear Bunch.
I dare you.
Also, I'm sorry, go ahead, George.
Summer camps. If I could put in a plug for New Bern Civic Theater, they have their day camp starting Monday, runs for 2 weeks, and they do have some slots available. They're following all of the recommendations from the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services for social distancing and all of that. And so that's going to be very interesting to see how they do theater with social distancing. But they have older kids, teenagers that are serving as assistants, and they won't be able to have a performance at the end because the theater will still be closed according to phase 2. But it'll be very interesting to see how they're able to tackle those challenges and still create art. So if you're interested, call up New Bern Civic Theater, talk to Angelina, and she can get you in.
Do y'all know if there's any theater, like any show, what do they call them? Performances, shows that have like mass, like bandits.
Dana wears one.
Yeah.
But it's only this.
Yeah. Well, they are part of the camp. I think will incorporate masks into the costumes.
No, I guess what I mean, like a show that you've been in and all the different, like Scrooge, or the different shows you've been in, that the theme, the people, that the actors were wearing masks as part of the.
I think what Clay was saying with the Phantom is the only one that comes to mind. Like
the Phantom. Okay.
Maybe Lion King. They've got
Lion King. Yeah. Good point.
So.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting.
We have other park information and things for folks. So what is open? Well, the George Street splash pad is open. With social distancing, we can allow about 90 people in there. The city pool is open over there on Lara Lane, the New Bern Aquatic Center. All of our park shelters have reopened. You can reserve them really easily online. There is a mass gathering limit of 25 people. Our tennis and pickleball courts at Southwest Parrot Park out there by Kidsville, those are open for single play only. You must observe social distancing. We really would like for you to at least. So those are some things that are open. Let's see here. Basketball courts and playgrounds are still unfortunately closed, but you're welcome to use the park open spaces and the trails. Those are open during normal hours. So there are some things to do, especially now that, school's out and families are looking for fun.
What about the disc golf? That's open, right?
Yes, that is open over there at Glen Burnie Park. And then I thought I would save the best for last. Drum roll, please. The city of New Bern will be hosting July 4th fireworks.
Wow.
Lawson Creek Park, yes. Still working out the details on just how to keep everything safe. Do we want to make it like a drive-in? Do we want to make it where you stay near your car? We might paint circles on the Alex Thalman field that's out there. So, but it is going to be July 4th. There will be no concert, none of the activities and things that are going to be out there. It is just fireworks, and they typically begin around 9:15 at night. So I know a lot of cities and towns around us are canceling their shows, which could mean things are pretty busy in New Bern, but the good news is we will have fireworks this year. So.
All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Let's see. We just had social media, beer can chicken with Brutopia beer. Yes, Rob Jones. And Pat Murray, I can be a judge. I have 2 trophies for being an official firefighters chili judge in Chicago. All right, we'll have an official judge for the cooking contest.
I better learn how to cook.
Speaking of Rob Jones, he sent me this text and it said something like, I got beer, are you coming over? I've got new beer, are you coming over? Or something like that. And of course I was like, you name the time and place and I'll be there. And so I visited him and I took my camera to Brewtopia, and he had made a hibiscus cream ale.
Wow.
Whoa.
It was so good. And then the other thing he had me try, and he's probably going to be upset with me because I'm getting ready to tell everybody about it, but this breakfast stout that his wife Dawn made. And she made it because particularly during COVID and everything they've been through, and, you know, restaurants and bars being closed down, we all seek out kind of those comfort foods. She wanted to make a comfort beer. So she made this breakfast stout that is made.
Hold on. Does it have bacon?
No, but it pairs well with bacon.
Oh.
It has
Bourbon?
coffee and,
Sausage?
and chocolate in it.
Oh.
Wow.
And let me tell you what it was like to drink it. When you put it up to your nose, it was coffee. On the back of your tongue, it was chocolate. It was the most amazing thing. And so it's Wendy, if you don't mind, you've always been a great Taste Bud Adventure supporter. I'm putting together a little video and we're going to have it on Taste Bud Adventure. But both of those beers were delicious. And I asked him, is the breakfast stout going to be at Brewtopia? And please tell me it is. And he said, no.
I was just getting ready to leave.
Because Wendy, you really like porters and stouts, don't you?
My favorite is the bourbon barrel aged stout, and it's called Stupid Stout. I don't know if they make it anymore. It was discontinued for a couple of years, but it's just, you get pretty stupid. So I don't recommend you drinking it out in public, but and it comes in a big, you know, I don't know, 20 something ounces probably or more. It's a big bottle, so I have to cork it, you know, I can't drink it all at once, but it is delicious. And yeah, they have all kinds of the North Carolina beer, and we learned last week wine, local breweries. So it's important to support our local businesses, and we're really looking forward to everyone eventually opening up. So and supporting
we
them.
really are. That will be much fun when we can get back to more normal lives and not seeing each other like this all the time.
Yeah. But it's nice to see you guys, and Clay. It's very nice to meet you.
Thank you for having me. And you'll know when I'm around town. I'll show you this real quick. I'll change my background. You'll know because when I'm around, I will be driving
the nurse next door car.
Whoa.
Limbo.
If you want some entertainment, watch a 6'6" guy get out of a pink Honda Fit. Yeah, my 15-year-old is mortified.
Cute car. Cute
That's
color.
the car she's going to get when she turns 16, right?
I told her it's hers if she wants it. She is not interested at all.
That's so funny. Oh my God. Oh, Pat just commented, wow, Durham's 4th of July fireworks was canceled. So
yeah,
New Bern is ahead of the game, I guess, here.
Well,
so.
it is a little known historical fact that New Bern was one of the 3 cities to first celebrate July 4th. Isn't that right, Colleen?
that is right. I'm glad you brought that up. I had completely forgotten about that, George.
Along with Philadelphia and Boston?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Wow, very impressive, George.
We got to keep that streak going.
We do, so we can be more of one of the firsts, or the first.
Yeah.
But not the first to be overwhelmed with our hospitals. So we got to be safe, folks, but we can be safe and do open up as long as everyone works together.
That's right.
That's all I'll say about that.
We want to remind everybody that the video and audio of our Podsquad is uploaded to newbernnow.com. You can also find it though on YouTube, iTunes, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can also listen to the show on New Bern's News Talk radio station, WNOS 103.9 FM, every Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then again at 5 p.m. Are we ready to say it, Miss Wendy?
Not quite. I just want to say again, Clay, best of luck with the business you've started with your wife there.
Yes.
Hard time to start a business, but what you're doing sounds not only very helpful to people, but necessary. So thanks for doing that for the older folks that we've got.
Yes.
Thank you. If people
Well,
need care, just call.
Can you tell us how to get up with you for people who may need?
Of course. Thank you for asking that. You can go to nursenextdoor.com. You'll see all of our information there, and you can even book consults there. Or you can call 252-648-6026. And we have a live person 24 hours, 7 days a week, ready to pick up your call. So even if it's 3 in the morning and your mom or dad need help, we're ready there to pick up and listen and support any way that we can.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Outstanding, Clay. Thanks for coming on the show. Congrats to you on the Nurse Next Door. Hope that really takes off in Eastern North Carolina. And as we said earlier today, a much needed service in
This was a lot of fun. I look forward to getting to know y'all better. This was a whole lot of fun. Thank you for including me.
Yay.
I have a feeling we're going to have you back. So.
Oh, that's great.
If you'll come back, so yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I think that's a wrap, folks. Thanks for joining us and thanks for listening. Have a great day, everybody, and make sure you stay safe. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
And thank you. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.